Okay, so hi, good evening, sir. Good evening, ma'am. How are you?
Good evening, dear. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Today we have guest, Mrs. Surya Sharma, ma'am. She is an interior designer and business coach and founder of Surya Sunshine Star. And she have very good page of Instagram page of name is Reflections of Design. She have 90.2K followers in on
Oh,
Instagram. Yeah. So, ma'am, welcome to our channel, and thank you for coming.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
Yes, ma'am. So, before we start, I would like to know about your journey, how all this started, and how you start this interior design, how you entered in interior design, ma'am.
Okay. Basically, I've done PID. So technically, I'm an interior designer. But if now you will see, I've been allotted with a lot of designations of like interior designer, content creator, influencer. So I was just a normal girl who used to upload the work onto the social media, that is onto the Instagram. And this whole change happened via the period of COVID. So a little backstory. So I used to run one company. I basically run two companies. First is VS Design. That is with my dad. My dad is an architect. I run with that with him. And second is this Reflections of Design through which we have connected. So this second company, so we'll talk about the second company more because यहीं से आप लोगों ने मुझे पकड़ा है.
Yes.
So during the time of the COVID, eventually our 20 sites were closed, and there was no work, no money because everything was at a so chaotic state because COVID का period हम सबको याद है. Second phase में तो हमें फिर भी पता था. Onto the first phase was hazardous, मतलब बहुत ज्यादा trouble हो गया था उसका. So at that period, I discovered like the power of social media. I started seeing a lot of like मुझे लगता है कोविड में हम सब ने किचन में जाना शुरू कर दिया था टू मेक द डिशेस. मैं उन वीडियोस को देखते देखते आई हैव सीन 1 to 2 videos of people interacting and talking about any other field. So I thought, why not just take my credibility या मैं जिसमें better हूँ. I started putting my work because as an interior designer आप में भी कोई एक skill होती है. Like if you'll ask, I hate 2D, but I love 3D. Particularly, I love 3D Max. So I capture that. मैंने बहुत ज्यादा उस पे अपना टाइम इनपुट किया एंड जब मुझे लगा कि आई एम केपेबल ऑफ टीचिंग और या मुझे मैं इसके थ्रू अपनी स्किल्स ज्यादा दिखा सकती हूँ, I started putting a lot of content on Instagram without showing my face. And 6 months it was good, and gradually I started getting clients. So तब मुझे idea लगा, okay, this is the place where we can earn. So genuine people will attract to the genuine work. But Instagram also comes with a lot of negative people. So like eventually I come from a like Brahman community. वहां पे हम इतना easily, I'm not saying I'm not introvert, but हम लोग थोड़ा अंदर रहने वाले लोग हैं. So but eventually when I like that, I think was my third or fourth client, which eventually gave me half of my money and took full work. So वहां से I opened my phone camera. जो बंदी एक वीडियो या एक स्नैप आज तक इसने डाला नहीं था, आई बैश दैट पर्सन. आई थिंक उस दिन आईजीटीवी चलता था, एंड आई बैश दैट पर्सन, बैश दैट क्लाइंट, which was not ethical. हमें ऐसा हम नहीं कर सकते इंस्टाग्राम पे, due to which my account was seized till 1 month. But that incident gave me a strength of facing the camera. कि जो मैं कैमरे पे आके इतना सब ब्ला ब्ला कर सकती हूँ, so I can use the skill as a good way also. From there the journey started, and the shift of me telling about the interior design skills, because when I came onto this Instagram platform, my concept was to just earn via my 3D views. But gradually जब मैंने देखा कि the problems that I faced in my college life, the students are also facing the same because of education system जिसका हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते. But definitely I would highly appreciate if the students are more connected to the practical world in the college itself only, तो शायद फिर बाहर से नॉलेज लेने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. So here my journey started of the Rod Studio
First
right
of
now
all,
here.
ma'am, first I would like to make a confession. Yesterday, when I saw your Instagram page, it was
Yeah.
absolutely mesmerizing, and I got a bit of feeling of jealousy as well. So to begin with that
Why?
confession.
Why? No, no, no.
Uh, you have come up with very innovative ideas in which it was very intriguing. The kind of topics that you have selected for your post are good, and it also struck a chord with me because I also believe that rather than lingering with several topics, if you choose one topic and give it a depth, then it is something which is of real utility. So I am also a
Yeah,
student of
definitely.
interior designing, space designing. So
Great.
it was really cool channel. Yeah. So that's a compliment from my side.
Yeah.
Thank Thank you, ma'am. A
So,
very inspiring
so
journey. Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, ma'am. You're saying
Basically, I
something?
was just saying, use, yeah, I was just saying, despite of saying like Instagram is giving us this platform that I am honored that I'm able to meet you, sir. As I meet a lot of students now. I trained more than 20K students till now through webinars, through everyone know CAD Center. So now I'm
Oh,
meeting you. So this was honorful for me, and I think Instagram gives us the platform of collaboration in the medium which we are now connected. So I think we can make a huge change.
yeah, yeah,
If
absolutely.
दो बोतल
Absolutely.
दो खुराफाती दिमाग मिलके काफी चीजें कर सकते हैं.
नहीं, एंड
Great.
जैसे आपने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले कहा कि जो प्रॉब्लम्स आपने कॉलेज में फेस किए, आई ऑल्सो हैव द सेम
Yes.
बिलीफ दैट देर इज टू मच एम्फोसिस ऑन
Yeah.
थ्योरी, और पूरा जो बिजनेस वर्ल्ड है, कमर्शियल वर्ल्ड है, वो तो प्रैक्टिकल के सिवा होता ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
So we have to, as ambassadors, we have to say to it that how much in depth practical knowledge can be imparted to our wards. So thank you. Your
Definitely.
journey has been really inspiring. I'll move with
Yeah.
the first question. So, ma'am, uh, what is a what is this world of interior designing like? Uh, what do interior, because the students of mine who are listening to you or who are going to see you on the YouTube, we have got a 16,000 strong community of interior designers, architects,
Great.
and a lot of them are civil engineers as well who aspire to get into the field of interior designing. तो उन जो आपको सुनने वाले हैं, मैम, उनके लिए बता दीजिए कि ये इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग का वर्ल्ड क्या है. व्हाट इज दिस बिजनेस एस्पेक्ट ऑफ इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग?
Okay, so first thing, coming to the term interior designing or architecture or anything related to construction, first of all, लोगों के मन में ये आता है, एक पेंसिल उठाएंगे, इतना करोड़ का कमा लेते हैं, दो पेंसिल का काम है और इतना पैसे आप छाप रहे हो. So
हाँ.
we develop these skills in 5 years. हमारा जो एक स्ट्रोक ब्रश का भी निकलता है ना, that will be output to the other person's strokes in a sense कि हमने इतना practice कर रखा है उस चीज में. So for me, interior designing it's just not your creativity level. लोग कहते हैं ना आपको drawing आनी चाहिए interior designing के लिए, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. A lot of technical things will be involved, lot of I think theory, basic concept आपको आने चाहिए, but a touch of practical knowledge, the functionality, the knowledge of color theory and vastu must go hand in hand. And to connect it with the actual world, तो आप as a client you should know कि हमें क्या क्या problem face होती है in our own homes. So when I came onto this platform, पहले मैंने अपने घर को ही पकड़ा था. What are the things that I am thinking कि मुझे यहाँ सही नहीं लग रही है. मैंने उन्हीं के वीडियोस बनाए थे and I started putting up onto my Instagram pages. And luckily people, I think that's what connect people. Normal things, normal problem. कबर्ड की हाइट इतनी क्यों है? किचन की प्लेटफॉर्म की हाइट इतनी क्यों रखनी है? A lot of the builders are more keen. उन लोगों को लगता है कि आपने बाहर से किसी की हाइट के एग्जांपल्स देखे एंड इंडियन हाइट की वुमेन पे वो चीजें लगा दी. So that would
Okay,
really not be fruitful. Yeah, that's how I see the business marketplace here.
great. And what is the scope for budding interior designers, people who are now pursuing interior designing and mostly with software based? तो इनके लिए फ्यूचर का करियर स्कोप कैसे देख रहे हैं मैम आप?
फ्यूचर का करियर स्कोप शुरू हो जाता है आपके सेकंड टू थर्ड ईयर से. I was lucky enough that in my second year, I have taken a part in competition. I think you would know our magazine, leading magazine, Society Interior A plus D. So they used to throw a lot of competitions, and I participated in international competition in which I became a North zonal winner. That gave me an exposure. सो बबल में मत बैठो. थीसिस में लग्जरी क्रूज बनाने के बाद आपको 8x6 का बाथरूम ही बनाना पड़ेगा इन प्रैक्टिकल वर्ल्ड में. ये बात आप कॉलेज के वक्त इंटर्नशिप के दौरान जान जाओ, दैट वुड बी बेटर. बट लॉट ऑफ टाइम द पीपल आर इवन डोंट नो व्हाट इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ लैमिनेट और अ माइका, सनमाइका, लैमिनेट. कई लोगों को यही नहीं पता कि भाई वो सब एक ही फील्ड की चीजें हैं. What is the difference between 8 mm, 9 mm? Sir, I just want to use this platform. Just एक example देना चाहूंगी. There was a person who is practicing from 6 years, and I asked him कि आप यहाँ acrylic sheet क्यों नहीं लगाते किचन में? It is on trend. Why? उन्होंने मुझे कहा कि क्योंकि वो 6 और 8 mm में आता ही नहीं है. मैंने कहा हैव यू चेक्ड ऑन गूगल और आपने करा? आई एम टेलिंग यू ना, आई एम इनटू दिस फील्ड फ्रॉम 7 years, होता ही नहीं है. सो आई थिंक इट इज नॉट जस्ट द इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग स्टूडेंट. आप किसी भी फेज में हो इनटू दिस फील्ड, कंस्ट्रक्शन फील्ड, थिंग्स आर चेंजिंग रैपिडली. मटेरियल नॉलेज इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सबको कनेक्ट रहना चाहिए. I think that would attract a lot of people onto my page also because I give material knowledge.
Yeah,
लोगों को
yeah,
लगता है मैम डाल रही है, बट मैम वो डाल डाल के भी सीख रही है. आई आल्सो गेट मेमोराइज्ड टू दैट.
yeah.
Recently people are not even able to describe what is the difference between the plywood water resistance, waterproof. मेन लोगों को ही ध्यान नहीं रहता है. सो इफ मेन लोगों को ही ध्यान नहीं रहेगा, आप क्या इंटीरियर स्टूडेंट्स या क्लाइंट को वैल्यू दे पाओगे वो सारी चीजों का. Stay connected to the leading trends, materials. The things are changing rapidly, especially after COVID.
तो एक इंटीरियर डिजाइनर्स को डेप्थ में मतलब जस्ट टू गेट हायर्ड, लॉट ऑफ देम विल नॉट स्टार्ट देयर फर्म इमीडिएटली, दे आर जॉब सीकर्स. सो टू गेट अ
Yeah.
जॉब विथ रेप्यूटेड फर्म्स, इन्हें क्या क्या इंटीरियर डिजाइनिंग और सॉफ्टवेयर का डेप्थ में कौन से एरियाज का नॉलेज आप प्रिस्क्राइब करोगे मैम?
So
जैसे एक आपने
basically,
कहा कि मटेरियल का नॉलेज होना चाहिए. या
so basically, when I get resume, when I hire people, mostly I love 3ds Max. ये love मेरा पेज पे भी दिखता है कि सब लोगों को पता है who are my true followers. I am like मैं उससे till now connected हूँ. I have learned the software from my 3rd year to till now. Even on my marriage date, मैंने लैपटॉप ओपन किया था, मैंने रेंडर भेजा था, मुझे याद है. So that's strong love. So for me, strong software knowledge is very important. For 2D, you should know the basic AutoCAD. ज्यादा टेक्निकल उसमें मैं नहीं घुसाऊंगी, बट येस, टू ऑपरेट इनटू इट एंड टू नो द वर्क इन plus feet and inches, both. For 3D, you can use SketchUp, 3ds Max, a little animation. ये तो वही सॉफ्टवेयर की नॉलेज दैट यू कैन ऑल्सो लर्न. या कोई बच्चा मेरे पास भी आता है, वो हम सिखा देते हैं. Two things that I seek: first is your communication skill. It is very important. For me, the person I could give the work in a sense of high posh client to a middle class person to a low grade person. The person should have that communication skills. मुझे इन client के साथ कैसे बात करनी आनी चाहिए. Same place. The person should value the like the importance that people give ना. हम लोग क्या आती है मैम, आप चाय पीजिए. The same treatment should be with our carpenters, with our normal जो ठेकेदार होते हैं, उन लोगों के साथ भी आपको सेम बिहेवियर करना पड़ेगा. Like I mostly मैं ये communication skills जरूर, whenever I hire a candidate, I do see little bit of
Okay.
material knowledge. You can continue and I forget. कहाँ थी? Okay, we were talking about the skill, hiring skills, no? Yeah.
You were saying about materials knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah. And basics of basic topic includes color theory, a little bit of vastu. Material हम सिखा देंगे sir. बच्चे आते हैं उनको हम सिखा देते हैं. Boss is something whenever you are going to any company, वहाँ का work style, lot of things you will learn while going out in the market. But these things, the basics, you have to be touched to the basic. आई डोंट थिंक वहां पे कोई भी कैंडिडेट को मुझे ये बताना नहीं पड़ रहा है कि आपको वार्डरोब 2.5 फीट की रखनी पड़ेगी, आपको बेड्स. एंड ऑल्सो अ मेजर क्वेश्चन आई आस्क्ड टू द पीपल, बेड के नॉर्मल बेड क्या बाय साइज का होता है? इफ पर्सन से 6x6, स्ट्रेट अवे आप आउट हो, बिकॉज ये जो 6x6 के टेक्स्ट बुक में सिखाया जाता है बच्चों, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है. उसकी प्लाईवुड की डेप्थ रहेगी 3 इंचेस, तो ऐड करके बताओ मुझे. 6 feet 3 inches अगर आप बताओगे, so it add lot more depth. Whenever your interviewer is asking you a lot of questions, it is just not he's asking direct answers. वो आपको judge कर रहे हैं that how you are tackling the answers. So these are the things that I seek whenever I hire
Okay.
people.
And how much
Yeah.
importance is there, because interior designers are essentially space designers. So how much emphasis or importance is there in the interview, or maybe preparing for that interview about space designing? Do you expect people to know space designing?
Definitely. So suppose any person who is coming to me or another type of company he is going through, a little bit of knowledge you should gain about that person desire. अगर आप मेरा काम देखेंगे, I usually now started taking a little above average projects. तो अगर आप मेरे पास आ रहे हो तो you should know कि एक पेंट हाउस कैसे डिजाइन करना है, लार्ज स्केल प्रोजेक्ट्स कैसे डिजाइन करना है. You should know the knowledge of landscaping. So it depends on the company to company, आप किसके पास जाने वाले हो. Suppose आप मेरे पास 3 साल पहले आते, so I used to take a lot of middle class type, like eventually 1 BHK 2 BHK में बहुत करती थी, especially of Bombay side. So just by taking the Bombay you would get कि बहुत सारा multifunctional चीज हमको करना पड़ेगा. So whenever we seek the person, आप जिस के में एंट्री लेने वाले हो जिस स्पेस पे, so you should see कि they what kind of work they are offering. Now I do 60% of my work is for abroad people, and then it's for the Indian client. तो आप Indian और abroad projects में difference आपको पता होना चाहिए, because the designs of the kitchen that we develop for our Indian audience, Indian women, बिल्कुल बाहर वालों को समझ नहीं आती है वो, ना ही बाहर वालों की इंडियन वुमेन को समझ आएगी.
Yes.
So definitely
क्या
this is the
मेजरली उसमें
major
डिफरेंस होते हैं मैम, इंडियन और
So
वेस्टर्नर्स
colors,
डिजाइन में क्या कलर्स होते हैं?
definitely colors. I will tell you one incident. Like a lot of time, when my client asks me कि Surya, what should we have into the platforms? And मुझे ऐसा लगता है trend से ज़्यादा functionality पे आपको you should be preferable for that. If you're a person coming from a Punjabi background where you eat a lot of oily food, मतलब खाने के हिसाब से I make that design. तब मैं चिमनी लगाऊंगी, हॉप टोक्यो करूंगी. Cut to the abroad people doesn't need those high fancy hobs and standards, because most of the time they are baking the stuffs. उनको बेकिंग, एयर फ्रायर, ये चीजों की ज्यादा जरूरत रहती है. डिश वॉशर, द टॉल यूनिट, फैंसी बार्स कनेक्टेड विद द ब्रेकफास्ट टेबल्स, rather than the Indian audience, typical Indian audience. अगर आप for the kitchen, if you'll go for it, modular house में there was one person who just came to me, Surya, I just want modular kitchen. I was like, okay, हम बना देंगे. मुझको डिशवॉशर विद जैसी फैंसी चीजें नहीं चाहिए, बट मॉड्यूलर होना चाहिए. So आप समझ जाओ कि the person wants a like color aesthetic wise he wants something trending modern, but वो modular kitchen का मतलब वो नहीं होता है. Modular kitchen means you have to include tall units, dishwasher, lot of more electrical appliances. So that's why I give these knowledge onto my page also, to educate the client as well. कि जब भी आप designers के पास आते हो, so please ask a knowledgeable question. फालतू क्वेश्चन से हम भी पिस ऑफ हो जाते हैं बहुत बार.
Can we have a look at your Instagram page, ma'am, or reflection of design? Can you share the screen? Uh, Pratiksha, just allow her to share the screen.
Okay, okay, sir.
Okay, just a second.
Because one thing I would like to know, ma'am, how do you select the content? Let's
Sure,
say every
sure,
day
sure.
when you are thinking, just I want to know, get inside your mind and understand कि आप कंटेंट और पोस्ट कैसे सिलेक्ट करते हो? व्हाट इज उसका एक पाथवे क्या है? और सारे जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो देखे भी जरा कि कितना बहुत ही बेहतरीन पेज है. सो मैम, ओवर टू यू.
I,
या
Yeah, you can share,
yeah,
ma'am.
just a second. So this is majorly my Instagram page where I just use all types of things, post in the form of post, my renders in the form of carousels, the knowledge, and the most popular thing that people love are my reels, which you can see.
Yes.
Yes. Anything to be particular? Want to ask?
कैन यू शो few of your posts?
Yeah, definitely. So my posts are majorly it's just not one type of knowledge. Suppose this post, if you can see, this is my master bedroom that I've designed for a client. So ये सिर्फ ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ मैं ज्ञान देती रहती हूँ. How I use those things into the practical business and how I do the virtual designing projects. This is the first example. Coming to the 2D that we can offer to the people. Like this is the basic layout of the kitchen. You can see. So I think so. A lot of people use websites for it, but I have used my Instagram page as a website that
Yeah,
people
yeah,
would
yeah.
know that what kind of things I'm doing. And these are the knowledgeable posts you can see. Like मैंने 3 gradient choose करे हैं colors के. That is the fuchsia yellow, then going for skinish color and then bluish color. And I've divided the whole content onto that where I post what is this material, that would be the knowledge onto that. Yeah, आप एक civil engineers के लिए भी particular slots रहते हैं. So it's just not about interior designing page. It's about the things that all the things that you face while doing the construction itself. What is RCC? Normal to basic, everything, like basic to advanced, every word that you get along onto the site. I think I'm trying to come up with those topics here.
Yeah, ma'am. I have
Yes.
seen one of your posts that 6 ways to decorate your home in budget. That post,
Yeah,
I like that post very much. So could
yeah.
you open please
Great.
that post, ma'am? Yeah,
Just a
after
second.
fall ceiling, that was the post.
Which one, bacha? Just a second. Because there's so much content now.
Yes.
मैं खुद कंफ्यूज हो जाऊंगी आप किसके बारे में बात कर रहे हो.
6 ways to decorate your home on budget. That was the post.
That was a reel or that was a
Post.
post?
Post. Maybe reel something. Okay, it's okay.
Yeah, because अगर confusion is type का है, so we are not able to say because I throw content daily, so बहुत ज़्यादा content रहेगा I think.
Okay, okay, no problem.
So in a way, whatever the color palette that I use in the form of the reel, I'm telling to the people like these are the trending things that my client like, and you can also include these things into your project. Because कई बार मैंने देखा है किचन में भी लोग सिर्फ एक ही टाइप के textures and colors use करते रहते हैं. These are types of the reels that in which I show that how you can design 3Ds into your 3ds Max and using those 3D for your projects into the like virtual projects. A lot of things are there. Should I stop sharing now?
Yeah, yeah, ma'am. Got a good enough idea.
Yeah.
Ma'am, how do you see the scope of modular kitchen design now for interior designers? For the next 10 years, how is modular kitchen going to be taken up in Indian kitchens?
Yeah, it is now it is really into trend. The usage of having the kitchen, using that as an open space with your maybe a small bar or a breakfast counter. It is now really feasible, even in the 2 BHK or a 3 BHK. A lot of people, builders are also using like कि कोई interior वाला, even if they are not hiring that person, but मुझे ऐसा लगता है they know कि ये चीज trend में है. They are coming up with the ideas that they leave those spots for us. Like suppose there was one society that I was recently designing, and builder से कोई connection नहीं है हम लोगों का. Still, the electrical points that I needed at that moment, they have there. So it depends on to the quality of the thinking of that other person also. Maybe in the terms of builder, architect. As per the clients, I would highly suggest the clients according to your needs. Please go for it. Modular kitchen आते ही आपका 7 to 8 से 9 से 10 lakh आराम से चला जाएगा, depending upon the material that you'll be going for. So I like just not go with the trend कि हमको because modular कराना है. Without using those modular terms also, हम aesthetic wise भी normal kitchen को भी modular page out कर सकते हैं. But understand the major depth that majority of the things that we use in modular kitchen are gadgets. Most of them are just school gadgets that we are using. With the way out of the functionality, with the aesthetic, a lot of people say कि मुझे modular kitchen नहीं चाहिए, फिर भी आप profile light लगा सकते हो गए. So majorly we need to educate the people also. हो सब सकता है, don't worry out for that. And yes, to all the people who have the major concern, like there are a lot of students who learn 3D Max from me, and they say, "Ma'am, हमें bedroom बनाना पसंद नहीं है, but I love to design kitchen." Yes, so you have that scope कि आप just you became that master of that particular space. Like for me also, I think I make good residential and commercial projects. I have done lot of projects, including residential, commercial to landscaping. The last project that I've done, I attended was of the hospital that I've created there. So lot of things. जरूरी नहीं है versatile होना, but if the talent that I grabs in myself, that I am really good in 3D, and मैंने फिर उस चीज को कोविड के पीरियड में पॉलिश करके I've taken it onto my second company. That gave me more value than a first company. In
We have been
lesser time,
talking
I
to
think.
several interior designers this month, and a lot of
Yeah.
them are of the view that, if you break down a complete residential space into 10 to 12 parts, kitchen is one space which is the most complex one to design. Do you agree to that?
Yeah, because all the decisions will be made by the female owner. And to make them understand some points are really difficult, because मुझे ऐसा लगता है like मतलब बुरा नहीं मानना चाहिए किसी को, but most of the females don't even know कि उनको ये functionality चाहिए, but because उनको सामने वाले उनके friend को, उनके फलाने की बहन के ब्लाबला को उनने क्योंकि ये चीज लगा रखी है, तो सूर्या मुझे भी ये मेरी किचन में चाहिए. So I make sure अगर if you're my client, ऐसा मेरे साथ नहीं होता है. I just my more preference is first, if you're a vastu person, first हम vastu देखेंगे. Second, functionality and the space and the storage that you need for your kitchen, and then we move to other aspects of the kitchen. So
So how
majorly
do you
मुझे लगता है
go?
ये experiment.
So Surya ma'am, how do you go about designing a particular kitchen? Let's say, for example, for a client of yours who has got big space. So how would you design a kitchen for him? What are the usual steps that you follow?
Most of them prefer
And,
island
and let
kitchen.
and let's say the
It's
budget is not of much of a constraint. I'm giving you a context.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so majorly people of the broad people prefer island kitchens, or the if the space is intact, then the same concept of using the breakfast table connected with the dining and area. But yes, due to them, they are keen to use the island kitchen. उसमें भी they prefer two things. हमारे में होता है एक ही, but because वहाँ पे water का little bit, because tap में ही आपका drinking water भी आता है. So they use two sinks for that, and majorly for the island kitchen that I think हमारे जो students सुन रहे होंगे, they know what is an island kitchen procure, and जो centralized जो अपन island निकालते हैं, they prefer their cooktop. If they have the window, it's good that we can provide the chimney or the hob there. But usually, if centralized होगा, तो center में ही hob लग के, that's how the functionality takes place. The island kitchen is now connected with your crockery, with the dining space, and the other. ये तो वही space planning के बाद. Now, most of the people of our Indian culture, they don't want to hype the storage. They like full connect नहीं पसंद होता उनको. Suppose the common height that we have is 10 feet. उसमें भी 8 feet अगर fall ceiling में cut हो रहा है. If the client is paying a good amount in the fall ceiling of the kitchen, 8 feet वहाँ निकल गया, we get 9 feet. Total 7 feet lintel height, I end the cabinet there. But for the abroad kitchens, we go for full heighted, and वहाँ पे majorly height अपने पास 12 feet के around मिल जाता है. So lot of storage happened there only, so you don't need नीचे बहुत सारा storage की जरूरत नहीं है. You don't need जो अलग से storage cabinets हम लोगों को जो provide कराने पड़ते हैं, वहाँ उस type की space की निकालने की जरूरत हमें नहीं पड़ती.
So
And if
majorly
you're
Indian kitchens,
yeah.
majorly Indian kitchens do use what kind of appliances?
It depends on the budget, sir. If there are a lot of clients जिन्होंने डिश वॉशर को एक दफा यूज करके फेंक दिया कि ये क्या है, जब हमको साफ करना ही है, पानी से निकालना ही है. So it is all about the education thing. Yeah, I have dealt with a lot of type of client. मतलब मैं जीरो से मतलब मैं काफी एक हाई स्टैंडर्ड क्लाइंट के मैंने सारे प्रोजेक्ट किए हुए. So I face a lot of problems. So there was one of my client, they said कि जब हमको पानी से निकाल कर बर्तन को रखना ही है, because there is using appliances is also a task. आपको डिश वॉशर यूज करने के लिए आप ऐसा नहीं खाना छोड़ा डाल दिया अपना धुल के सवाल, ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. It has its own mechanism. So to understand that, I think yes, a lot of people use this dishwasher. Having the trend of having the tall unit submerged with the fridge is now taking the shape. But I would highly suggest कि अगर आपने fridge अच्छा नहीं लिया, stabilizer या आपका जो electrical unit, it is not that powerful, that it can cause hindrance. अगर आप cabinet के अंदर fridge डालने की कोशिश करोगे. But that a lot of things takes in place just by seeing a classic pic of a kitchen into the Pinterest. आपको लगे कि मैम बस ये लगा दो, बना दो. It's not gonna take place. आपकी सीलन से लेके प्लस आपका इलेक्ट्रिकल पोल स्टैंडर्ड क्या है, कितना वॉट, कितना वे आउट कनेक्शन ले रहा है, इट्स वन वे कनेक्शन, टू वे कनेक्शन, थ्री वे कनेक्शन, आपने किस टाइप का कनेक्शन ले रहा है. लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, लॉट ऑफ टेक्निकल थिंग्स आर कनेक्टेड. लॉट ऑफ पीपल से यू आर इंटीरियर डिजाइनर, आप क्यों इलेक्ट्रिकल नॉलेज और इनमें घुसते हो. I think अगर मैं नहीं घुसती, so being an interior designer, now I'm able to produce a whole building from scratch to whole standard. We are providing exterior views, so it is not just कि अगर BID करिए तो घर ही डिजाइन करने हैं. Just you can like आप अपना जैसे जैसे आप अपने नॉलेज का ग्राफ बढ़ाते जाओगे, the world is there to pay you on the basis of your knowledge.
Great. So I'm moving on to the field of software because major of the students would be listening from my community are people who are more just as you are for 3DX Max. They have their passion and love in
What
various
software you
softwares.
love, sir? I really want to know. What software you love? यहाँ पे मजा आएगा. And you can't use the thing कि CAD center है इसलिए AutoCAD. ये हम मानेंगे नहीं.
I am majorly into space designing. So, of course, we all have started work with the basic tool AutoCAD. And then there are plethora of softwares which are used. We are majorly working with BIM, so the entire BIM family.
Okay,
And I'm
I
more
know.
into project. I am a project management professional, so I use a lot of project management tools for deployment of large projects with civil companies. So in interior designing,
Great.
ma'am, what are the softwares which are very popular in the field now? One you
So I'll
mentioned
just start.
Max. Huh.
Yeah, I will start wholesome. Don't worry. मैंने क्या क्या सीखे and then what I discovered कि मुझे क्या पसंद है. Okay.
Yeah.
For 2D, I start with the basic for 2D. AutoCAD is best. The people who want to swap it with the Revit, ऐसा नहीं है. You can use AutoCAD file with SketchUp with 3ds Max. It is very flexible. आप जैसे Revit में आ जाते हो, हाँ हल्का सा technical error आने लग जाता है. So for 2D, AutoCAD is best. For 3D, I have learned SketchUp, but the combination me learning 3ds Max with Corona plugin for exterior and VRA for interior worked best for me. मुझे ऐसा लगता है I have received a lot of praises via my clients because of that. And a lot of people say, "मैम आप SketchUp को hate क्यों करते हो?" अरे बाबा मैं hate नहीं करती. I've learned lot of things. I've learned SketchUp, 3ds Max, right?
You said
Okay.
a lot of people ask you why do you hate SketchUp? Very
SketchUp.
interesting way.
Okay. Yeah. So yes, because I show my lot of love for the 3D Max, that doesn't mean I hate SketchUp. And I have learned SketchUp, Rhino, Grasshopper, 3ds Max, Lumion. You just name the software, I have my hands on it. But the software that have worked for me to become like maybe adding the brownie points or successful stars for me are majorly of my 3ds Max. So for 3D, you can go for SketchUp, you can go for 3ds Max, you can even learn Enscape. That is also like small skills आप जो शुरू करते हो, it is also a great software to learn. Moving towards the walkthrough, again, I love 3ds Max, तो बहुत easily मैं walkthroughs में भी कर देती हूँ. But yes, if you wanna like you got a bigger project, then definitely go for Lumion. For walkthroughs, I prefer Lumion. And now it just जो आप image देखते हो Instagram पे is just not a mesmerizing look by a 3ds Max render. It is submerged with a technical software that is editing software that is Photoshop. I use Photoshop for editing. You can use Adobe Illustrator, but again, I love after 3ds Max is Photoshop. It really makes your work easier. So these are the software that I think people must understand the value and start learning it from second year itself. College सिखाएगा, कब सिखाएगा, कौन से semester में आएगा? Don't wait for that.
Don't wait for that. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am, for a very tantalizing and mesmerizing interaction. Any final word of conclusion for my students who are listening to you before we conclude today?
Follow my page, follow sir. पहले खुद का फैला दो. No, I would really want to give one advice that just have the knowledge of the practical world first, because just by doing AutoCAD आप सिर्फ drafter कहलाओगे. Just by designing 3D आप एक 3D visualizer कहलाओगे. आप जो डिग्री ले रहे हो उसका मेजर मीनिंग तभी निकलेगा when you know the space planning, you know these softwares, and you know how to connect those things with the client handling to an execution project. You will learn only just by knowing the practical world. That means the materials, how the work is done. लोगों को ये नहीं पता कि टाइल आने में ब्रेकेज हमारा एक्स्ट्रा एक पैसा भी मतलब हमें देखे रखना पड़ता है फॉर एक्स्ट्रा कॉस्ट कटिंग. आने जाने में जो टाइल्स टूट जाएंगे समथिंग. लॉट ऑफ स्टूडेंट आस्क मी मैम इसका पैसा क्यों देना पड़ता है? तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन मत पूछो. समझो. Just I would highly suggest like to go for internship from the second year and third year. After your fourth semester, you will get genuine people who would help you. Or come to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you,
Definitely.
Surya ma'am. Thank you, Pratiksha. It was lovely interacting with you. Please
Same
send
here.
your project pics. We will collect it from your page as well. And Pratiksha,
Yeah,
please
sure.
mention, just need to edit this part. Just mention the contact details and everything in the description.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, sir.
Surya
Sure.
ma'am, it was
Yeah,
pleasure meeting you. Pratiksha, thank you very
yeah.
much for organizing such a lovely interaction. And we are really grateful to you, ma'am, for sharing such a great depth of knowledge and being very candid. Yeah, love the way you presented your knowledge. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah,
Thank you so
okay.
much. It
Yes.
was my pleasure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Bye.